Hi everyone, we are Ngoc, Linh and Nguyen from Group 5, and our topic today is about ancient Greek and the difference between ancient Greek and ancient China during the Warring States period. So we will start with the ancient Greek, and to be more specific is the geography of the ancient Greek. The ancient civilization of Greece was located in southeastern Europe along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. The geography of the region helped shape the government and culture of the ancient Greeks. Geographical formations including mountains, seas, and islands formed natural barriers between the Greek city-states and forced the Greeks to settle along the coast. The region of the Mediterranean where the Greeks first settled is called the Aegean Sea. Greek city-states formed all along the Aegean coastline and on many islands in the Aegean Sea. The people of Greece used the Aegean to travel from city to city. The Aegean also provides fish for people to eat. The land of Greece is full of mountains. Around 80% of the Greek mainland is mountainous. This made it difficult to make long journeys by land. The mountains also form natural barriers between the major city-states. The tallest mountain in Greece is Mount Olympus. The ancient Greeks believed that their gods, the 12 Olympians, lived at the top of Mount Olympus. One of the earliest examples for international relations among states can be found in ancient Greece. Written evidence has been found that Greek city-states have kept relationships between each other. These relationships have mostly been militant. The city-states were said to be constantly at war with each other, but sometimes they allied to fight a greater threat. To be more specific, I will talk about two typical city-states, which are Athens and Sparta. Differences between Athens and Sparta eventually led to war between the two city-states, known as the Peloponnesian War from 431 to 404 BCE. Both Sparta and Athens gathered allies and fought on and off for decades because no single city-state was strong enough to conquer the other. Finally, Athens surrendered. Its walls were torn down, the navy disbanded, and the Athenian Empire destroyed. The Great War was finally over. The Great Peloponnesian War weakened the major Greek states and ruined any possibility of cooperation among them. During the next 66 years, Sparta, Athens, and Thebes struggled to dominate Greek affairs. International relations, as an activity, has long history. It was the means which used to interact with other states. As can be seen in ancient Greece, international relations, holding peace between city-states is important but also difficult. In a world where the struggle for power created conflicts and wars, an international system to maintain the order of the world and to hold peace was much needed.
Next up, we're going to compare between ancient Greece and ancient China. So, there are three main concepts I want to mention about. The first one is about ancient philosophers in this ancient time. The second one is comparison between the Alexander the Great and the King Shi Huang. And lastly is the other aspect during this time. So let's start. Many philosophers living in this time, including Socrates, Plato, Mencius, Sun Quan, Han Fei. Surprisingly, they all lived in the same period of time, historically speaking, despite the fact that the two countries were thousands of miles apart geographically and the two civilizations developed independently of each other. Each of these philosophers significantly contributed to the development of their respective civilization and beyond, with lasting influence even to this day. While the Greek philosopher and their Chinese counterparts share many philosophers, the biggest difference between them is on governing. The Greek experimented widely even with democracy, while the Chinese were more confined to a hierarchical structure of governance, emphasizing more on respect for authorities, from parents to the rulers, without clue about the democracy. Alexander the Great is unquestionably the most significant figure in ancient Greece, especially from expanding the Greek Empire to its maximum. He took pride in conquering Egypt, a civilization preceding ancient Greece, resulting in Egypt, the capital being renamed after him, Alexandria. And he did attempt to advance deeper into Asia beyond Pakistan, but failed to completely pass the high mountain over there, and turned back from eastern Pakistan when his daughter moved in. A very few years after. He died early at the age of 32. And also, another significant figure in ancient China is King Shi Huang. As king of Qin, King Shi Huang managed to conquer and annex the other six states, and he named himself the first emperor, after unifying China geographically. The emperor proceeded with many significant standardizations and developments such as a common official written language, a common currency, common measurements, and the development of extensive network of roads and canals connecting the provinces to improve trade between them, and standardizing even the length of the axles of cars to facilitate transport on the road system. Very importantly, the first emperor built the earliest portion of the Great Wall of China. However, militarily, Alexander the Great perhaps achieved more than the first emperor did, but that was misguided, as it appeared that he conquered for the sake of conquering, without knowing how to govern afterwards. In contrast, the first emperor conquered to rule. For example, his extensive policy and accomplishment after unifying China decisively helped propel China well ahead of the rest of the world for centuries to come. The history of ancient Greece is written by several Greek philosophers and great kings like Alexander the Great. Likewise, the history of ancient China is written by several Chinese philosophers and the great emperors like the first emperor. Alexander was a great military leader, whom many Western military leaders have been trying to emulate over their past 2,000 years. And the China's first emperor not only was a great military leader, he also had proven to be one of the greatest leaders in human history. However, many Westerners were completely unaware of his greatness until today. In the previous part, she has mentioned about statements between ancient Greeks. Sometimes they have conflicts among them. Likewise, Chinese experience the same issue. The Warring State period was a time of fighting between 7 states in the empire. King Shi Huang conquered all the other states, leading to the end of the Zhou dynasty and the beginning of Qin dynasty. And in each state, the ruler declared himself king and be independent of the Zhou empire. Each now looked to expand their territory at their neighbors' expense, often attacking rival over a succession dispute caused by the common policy of intermarriage between different royal families. Eventually, this rivalry led to ever-shifting alliance and in the incessant conflicts that gave the period its name. In political category, from 280 to 223 BCE, Han Feizi was a Chinese philosopher who developed the system of legalism. He spread his idea to the king of the Qin dynasty, who later adopted his principle of legalism. He believed that the good rulers lead to success. Also, he believed that the society needed strict laws and harsh punishment. From 2000 BCE to 1200 CE, the silk were established and used in China. This extensive trade route linked China to many other empires. Spices, food, jewelry, clothing, sugar, and luxury goods were traded along with the silk with other products. Many ideas and religion were spread on these routes. Ancient Greek relied heavily on imported goods. The economy was defined by that dependence. Agricultural trade was of great importance because the soil in Greece was of poor quality which limited crop production. However, some food items could be produced in the Mediterranean climate, such as olives, olive oil, figs, honey, meat, cheeses, and wine. These items were traded domestically among various city-states in ancient Greece. This could also be exchanged for other necessary items from other countries. In addition to food, Greek pottery was also valued. Ancient Greeks' position in the Mediterranean allowed them to control some crucial trade routes and seaports. Some popular imports at the time were sawfish, wheat, papyrus, wood, glass, and metals such as tin, copper, and silver. That's all about you need to know about ancient Greek and ancient China. See you next time.